All right, everybody. Good late afternoon slash early evening. It's time for the Tuesday scheduled video. That is Front Office Tracker Tuesday, or whatever it is we've come to call it, whatever you want to call it. We're taking a look at the players that the Seahawks made some degree of decision of significance on in the most recent offseason. Either they kept them, or they went out and got them, or they drafted them, or they let them go. So I think you guys have got the rhythm of this one pretty well down, so let's just go ahead and jump right in, starting with the free agent re-signings. We got 6 players here, and all of them except for one played, and that one was Chris Carson. Well, hopefully he's back for Green Bay, but time will tell. Hopefully he can get back out there on the field and help us try to salvage this season, but did not play. Alex Collins did play, didn't really do a whole heck of a lot. I can't really put too much on him. I know he's playing through that groin injury. I know that he's not 100%, and our run blocking, I don't know if it was up to snuff on Sunday, but Collins got like 10 touches for 44 yards, played, 27 snaps. His PFF grade actually dropped quite a bit, down to 70.3. And some of the stuff that I was expecting to see with Geno, like more of a screen game focus, it's not happening. So Collins not getting the action in that regard that I was expecting once Geno came in. Ethan Pocic played the whole game against the Jaguars. I think he played okay. He did give up a sack, according to PFF, in, 57 snaps. But because he's protecting Geno, and given the way Geno's played the last couple games, it could easily have been a Geno sack more than a Pocic sack. But PFF did give him a sack allowed, so if you just look at those numbers, that's not good. 2 sacks in 71 snaps at center is really not good. PFF grade did go up a little bit to 52.4, but he's going to get an opportunity to continue to improve as the season goes on and prove that he deserves some degree of, credit for this. Credit, and that he's at least better than Kyle Fuller. But I and pretty much everyone else, we're really hoping that after this season is over, we can find an answer at the center position that isn't just desperately trying to scrape by. Okay, Poona Ford, he did his thing, played about 40 snaps, had a couple of tackles. Nothing too remarkable from him, but we did fine against the run, although James Robinson getting hurt early on made that easier. His PFF grade fell a little bit, but it's still really good, 75.2. So Poona Ford not developing as a pass rusher like I hoped. You would hope to get a little bit of QB pressure up the middle from Poona Ford, given the fact that Trevor Lawrence dropped back to pass 800 million times, but he's still playing really well. Carlos Dunlap had an effective game. He hit the quarterback twice, and I think that was actually about it in terms of his impact. Oh, no, he batted down 2 passes on top of his 2 QB hits, so even though he didn't get a sack, it was probably his best game of the season in terms of actually having a positive impact on the game. His PFF grade's up to 73, so they still think he's playing well. But again, this isn't about efficiency. This is about volume. And right now, Dunlap is not giving us volume, which is what we needed. Benson Mayowa had a much reduced role against the Jaguars. I think he had like 1 tackle and was generally pretty quiet. His PFF grade actually plummeted after this game down to 62.1. He's still overall having a decent season. Now, Mayo is Mayowa. He's a Jag, but he's having a decent enough season. I'm not too mad about anything that I'm seeing from him. That takes us over to the free agent signings / trades. Gerald Everett had 1 catch for 7 yards and 1 carry for -5 yards. So he's clearly good. Like, he's a good player. Maybe he's not a great player, but he's a good player. We're just not really utilizing him, and it doesn't matter who the QB is. I don't know what to say about it anymore. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's a scheme thing, a player thing, a quarterback thing, a fluke thing, but he's not really earning his money right now, but he's clearly a capable player. His catch rate is very high. He makes plays when he gets targeted. He's just not getting targeted that much. His PFF grade's down to 57.8, which is not quite replacement level, but you're getting there. That's not good enough. Gabe Jackson had another clean game. His PFF grade did drop a little bit down to 64.7, but he's playing good football. Still hasn't allowed a sack. Didn't have any penalties against Jacksonville. He played every snap. Gabe Jackson's earning his keep around here. And he's a guy who is playing well enough to where you can believe that he can continue to be an effective player for at least a couple years after this one, which is important right now. Al Woods had a good game. He played, what was it, like 33 snaps or something like that. I think he had a couple of tackles. No huge action or anything like that. Nothing amazing. But his PFF grade did go up to 76.4, so he's still having a really effective year. Not a guy I was super excited to bring in, but he's doing his thing. I got to give him credit, man. Doing his thing. Kerry Hyder, kind of in that same boat. I think that he had a game where he actually hit the quarterback twice, if I'm recalling correctly. He got some action in the backfield as well. I think that Kerry Hyder played a pretty effective game. Not playing a ton of snaps right now. I think we could stand to give him a little bit of a bigger workload over a guy like a Rasheem Green. Let me see here. Let me check the edit history here. Yeah, okay. He, okay. Yeah, I guess he had a couple tackles against the Jaguars. His PFF grade still standing pretty strong here, 65. Sidney Jones played a decent amount against Jacksonville, partially because of injuries, partially because of the rotation. And he's playing a little better. He had a few tackles against Jacksonville and 2 pass deflections, which, I mean, I will go to my grave defending Trey Flowers as not being as bad as you guys think that he is. But he wasn't making plays on the ball. Sidney Jones, as bad as he's been at times, is starting to make plays on the ball, and I do notice that kind of stuff. His PFF grade actually rose up above 50. It's now 51.5, so he's making progress. He's got a long way to go, but he is playing slightly better football right now, and I have noticed. As for the rookies and UDFAs, the draft picks, once again, we only had one rookie get any snaps. It was Trey Brown, who actually played a lot. He played over 60 snaps, I believe. He had 3 tackles, and that's really about it. Seemed to play well to my eye. I liked some of the stuff that I saw him do. His PFF grade has dropped below 60, so they don't like him as much as they did after the first game or even the second game, but to my eye, he's developing well enough, and I like what he's doing for the most part. So Trey Brown continuing to carry this rookie class. Hopefully Eskridge gets back. And yeah, that's it. Nobody else played. So with that being said, let's swing right over to the guys who left. This is going to be kind of quick. Shaquille Griffin. We got to see him up close and personal. And he gave up 2 touchdowns to Metcalf, but overall I don't think he played a terrible game. He definitely got beat a few times. PFF didn't update his receptions allowed stat for some reason, but I think it would be like 28 after this game. He didn't have any pass deflections. I think he had a couple of tackles. PFF grade fell slightly to 66. So he continues to have a solid season, just not worth the money he got. But yeah, Shaq Griffin still fighting, still doing the best that he can. Just a decent season, probably worth closer to 9 million or 10 million, not 14, but he got that money and I can't hate, so good for him. But we got to see it up close and personal, him giving up some touchdowns, and for some reason Seahawks fans don't like that guy very much, so I know they enjoyed it, and of course I enjoyed it too, but yeah, we all saw how he played. Jerron Reed, and this one's kind of interesting. He had like 4 tackles against the Giants last night, Monday Night Football. By all accounts, according to the analyst nerds on Twitter, he had a very good game, and Jerron Reed even got on Twitter pounding his chest earlier because he was going after some guys who were kind of taking the piss out of him earlier this year. PFF really didn't like his game. They actually lowered his grade even further to 43. It was, 44 before, so they were not impressed. I think this is just one of those instances where PFF just missed something. I watched that game. Jerron Reed actually had an impact on the game for the first time all season. So, good for him. Overall, still barely replacement level. Probably not even that at this point. He's not really doing much of anything for that Kansas City defense that is, by and large, miserable this season. KJ Wright did not play. Oakland was on a bye. Carlos Hyde did play, and we got another up close and personal look at this one. He actually played a lot of snaps. It was, yeah, he played like 50 snaps because James Robinson got hurt early. And he got the ball a decent number of times. He got 15 touches. Didn't do a whole heck of a lot with it, but not a terrible game either. You can see 72 yards. Yeah, he was doing the best that he could, and I always liked Carlos Hyde. Seemed like a good dude. Seemed like he was pretty good at getting what was there, but limited opportunities in that offense, obviously, to do much of anything. So Hyde played all right. His PFF grade did drop quite a bit down to 67.2, but still having a pretty good season as a backup over there. Trey Flowers did not play for the Bengals. He was inactive, and they lost. So clearly he was the key to all their success. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. The Pocic return from that injury is something that's going to be kind of interesting to watch. He's obviously not off to a very good start, but if he's better than Fuller, which it looks like that he probably is, there's an opportunity for him to at least do something to salvage it. With that, I'm going to get out of here. Everything else kind of just speaks for itself. I think we know where we stand with most of these players right now. I'll let you guys digest all that. I will see you guys in stream later. Peace out. Go Hawks.